today is the 15th of November. We are exactly halfway through the month. Week 1 and 2 is finished, and week 3 and week 4 is lying ahead of us. So, progress report. Up to now, we've had 3 channel days. The wind has allowed for very gusty, challenging channel conditions for the 3 days. It's been a build-up since day 1 to day 3, where the gusts got stronger and stronger with every wind day. But on day 1 and 2, it was still very more constant, sailable, doable broad winds. But on day 3, the wind was extreme broad, extreme choppy conditions, and very challenging because there was never consistency in the wind speed. So it was really down to catching the lucky gust. Everyone was complaining about the situation on the channel with the broad winds, because the broad wind, it opens you up and it doesn't produce the same speed as the wind that comes more from the south. So the wind is too downwind. So the first half of the channel is easy, it's flat, and then the second half of the channel, it gets extremely choppy. The chop builds in the channel and then it breaks your speed. It becomes very dangerous, and the gusts, the gusty character of the broad wind makes it very difficult to maintain the high speed. So I managed to reach extremely high peak speeds, but the difference between the peak and the peak speed and the lowest speed on the channel is huge, because of the variation in the wind strength throughout the run. So it makes everything difficult. Starts, locking, safety. The only thing that's now extremely easy and nice for me is at the moment the stops, because I've managed to perfect the S stop. So the stops are like a breeze, my favorite part almost of the whole run. And the first half of the channel, I feel very solid. It's been all about trialing and testing the Max 6 sails. It hasn't been strong enough for the 4.7, so I'm on the 5.2 Max 6 up to now. And so far, I think I've maximized my runs on the channel with that sail. I've already been up to 15 kilogram of lead weight. I've tried all the different fin combinations, and in all different kinds of winds. On day 3, I was not lucky enough to catch the strongest gusts, which was far and few in between, and also because of the heavy line on the start box, waiting 1 hour between the runs almost. It was very difficult and nearly impossible to catch the lucky gusts. So up to now, the speeds on the 5.2 has been very good, but I have not felt that it produces easy speeds as with my 5 from the past. When I broke a record on the 5, it felt a lot less effort, easy, controllable run on the 5. And I think that the higher aspect ratio of the current Max 6 is very beneficial for heavy guys. But for me at the moment, I'm missing a little bit the stability of a more powerful design in the bottom part of the sail. So the low aspect ratio Mach 3 from 2019, which has still my fastest speeds on it, is going to get airtime from now on. We are switching over to that sail for the coming wind days to see until I've reached the same speed as my past record on that sail. So then we are at a nice level, and from there on we can chop and change again. But the goal is to stick to the sail we know already works for my weight. Bjorn developed the new Max 6 sails, and he added an extra button. So the sail in all is a little bit more heavy, and it's narrower and it's taller. So in very strong winds, which is consistent, it would probably work very well. But with the gusty winds we have at the moment, I'm losing too much speeds in the lulls. So I'm reaching extremely good top speeds, 44 knots easily, but I can't maintain the speed with that high aspect ratio in these broad winds. So I'm going back to my Mach 3 5.0, and the nice thing about that sail is that I can rig it also with a smaller mast, because of the lower aspect ratio. There's a shorter mast that goes into that sail. So instead of the 400 mast, I'm going down to a 370 mast, which has got more flex in it. So that would add in giving me some more momentum, because it's like a spring load. The mast loads up and it flexes easily. So when you go through a lull, it pushes you through with much more momentum than a bigger, higher diameter mast like a 400. So we've maxed out the extension, put in a 370 mast into the 5.0, and I can't wait to get back onto the channel with my record-breaking sail. And the plan is then to stick onto that sail until 44 or 45 knots, and from there on decide whether I'm going to go down to a 4.7, or if I get stuck on a speed like 45 knots and I don't break through, I'll start chop and changing between the 5.2 Mach 6 and the 5.0 Mach 3. So the next coming wind days, tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday, is 2 very good practice days. The wind builds stronger and stronger, and then Friday is a potential record day. Saturday is a potential record day. So it's going to be 4 days consecutively on the channel. So the aim is yesterday and today to rest out and to do less than nothing and eat a lot and fuel up for the coming wind section, which is going to be insane. And it's going to be the test. It's going to be the survival of the fittest. So that box is ticked for us. So I am very excited. I'm looking forward. And then also another nice positive is that we've eliminated the neck brace. The neck brace has limited my range of motion in my head down the line too much. I can't pick out my head as far as I would want to. So we've discarded the neck brace for now. And then the other positive is that on day 3, when everyone had a horrible day and many crashes, I was one of the few people who didn't get a spin out. Even the people who did very well that day still reported having spin outs on that day because of the broad wind and the chop. So I'm very confident on my fins. I feel happy with my gas wheel fins.